Okay, we got 23 minutes and 0 seconds on this one. Interesting. I remember the first week that I got to Leiden for my master's. We had this interesting assignment to act as this policymaker because you're just him, you're just her, and you're speaking directly to the parliament or whatever, and record a 5 minutes or 3 minutes video just having a conversation as that guy. And I found it quite interesting because coming from Iranian background with the different ideology of educational purposes and still not familiarized with the West style of things, I had this kind of 50-50 percentage of thoughts that, okay, this is mostly, let's say 51% even, um, the civility cosplay of the West, that we're different, we're open, we're implementing this individualism to the extent that you can be anyone that you want, and you literally can be allowed to cosplay at the level of policymakers. And the other side of me that now is kind of catching up to that is that my own framework that um, I've been obsessed my entirety of life, that is the identity congruency factor, that everyone is the total sum of what they have been up to that point. Every decision, every uh, kind of line of thought, everything, that you can always change who you are, but depending on how deep you are in the personality and in the identity that you are inhibiting, it's gonna be more and more difficult. The vanilla LinkedIn post for it would be, the longer you're on the wrong train, the more costlier is gonna be to turn back. People say this about choices and wrong choices and the opportunity cost of it and whatever, and it's been literally pornography of positivity on LinkedIn. Every single day someone new posts that, and it goes viral because it's just easy to sympathize with. And for me, it's just, that's literally your totality of identity. I see it as a vector, that this vector is going upwards, or there's the direction this vector is going. And the more you invest in the direction of this vector, the more facilitated you're gonna be in that direction. And that vector is your identity. And the total sum of who you are is very difficult to change that. And that's just obvious. So you literally train yourself to be that person, and that works with athletes, with actors. Even Jim Carrey literally says, I would go to this show or whatever and think as if the crowd are there watching me. Or Tiger Woods would literally golf for a full packed stadiums at 8 years old. So that's statistically kind of accepted fact. Even we don't say, okay, 100% fact, it's very hard to find sample bias that kind of heavy in favor of this identity congruency framework that um, I call it. Maybe some other people call it as well. So now that kind of is clicking with me, is that I kind of thought about the whole Greenland situation, because in my circle of lawyers and philosophers and policy leaders and whatever that I talk to, everyone seems to be very confused about what is this coming from? Where is this coming from that Trump wants this and that? And it's just, for me, it's just not that I was waiting for Trump to say, okay, I want to enslave the world and I want every country that has resources and geopolitical advantages. But coming from Trump and his literally trajectory of the vector of identity, it's just like it should be accepted and expected. Same thing with Iran. Trump is not gonna rush to Iran until there is a lever that is pushing him towards it, and it's not gonna be billions of people begging Trump to invade Iran. No, it's literally gonna be okay. This is what's the strategic advantage that I can have to have American values implemented in Iran, and to be honest, if this is kind of a strategic nice move on a very minuscule level that people were naming streets after Trump, that kind of cuddles his ego, but also it shows openness to be accepting American values. The thing that's with Iran and Greenland is actually happening simultaneously is the two sides of the same coin. That you literally um, are you have one country that is so disgusted of their own identity that they want external kind of involvement to shape their identity because of their resources, their economy, or whatever is not kind of getting them there. And on the other side of things, you have Greenland, that they have semi accepted identity that is being forced to be forgotten by external forces. So the funny thing is, Greenland is an identity that is semi kind of polished and is being forced to forget that by Trump. And you have other side of the coin that this is the Iranian values and Iranian whatever economy, whatever people actually hate being an Iranian, and they cannot just say it. They just say, "Oh, we're Iranian of 2,000 years ago." Yeah, definitely, and you're begging for external involvement that is not coming because you're actually not presenting yourself open for that involvement. So, as the prime minister in the old Leiden fashion, I would just, as the prime minister of Greenland and as the people of Iran, I am people of Iran, but hopefully I never go back to that shithole again. But as the prime minister of Greenland, the first thing I would do when Trump says I want Greenland, I would just first say, okay, what are the Nordic or Greenlandish values I can teach to my children and to my population so they actually reinforce their own identity. And the next thing is that I would actually make English and learning American history mandatory in my schools because, like it or not, some people are gonna gravitate towards Trump because if that was not happening, the economy of Greenland wouldn't be destabilized by Americans president 20 not 45th and 47th President Trump with his economical and identity, let's say, leverage that would literally put Denmark and Greenland into economical shock that happened literally after the same day Trump said that. So there are some internal forces that are actually gravitating towards American values. So as the prime minister, I would facilitate exit of these people and have not only first step would be, so we're not in philosophy land, first step would be to open invitation and very generous visas for Greenland to the rest of the world. So I literally invite attention on global scale to Greenland, as well as have Greenlandic identity being open to foreigners. That reinforces my identity for my own fucking people. And the next thing would be I would educate people not only on Greenlandic, let's say Nordic ideologies and history, but also American history. Because if it is the identity you people want to be part of, we're gonna facilitate your move to America, to Canada, to other countries that are representative of these values. So you literally hollow out the country from people who actually don't belong there to begin with, and gonna be a problem in the continuation of this kind of acquisition war with Trump. And on the other side of things, you're gonna be open to collaboration, let's say identity collaboration of people being accepted to Greenland and Denmark, reinforcing the Nordic identity as an equal to other identities in the world, American value, European values, because the totality of the world is in factions of value systems being run through um, uh, legal systems and legal structure. So that's what I would do as the prime minister of Greenland, because you just need to. The totality of the world is gonna be shifted towards this identity war, because I've been mapping the um, citizenship rule changes across the globe, as well as the AI war and digital kind of strategic positioning of every country as well. And even like this week, I have this interesting conversation with the Director General of Strategic Advisory on Digital Infrastructure of Canada, randomly dropping to my feed, I guess. And what fascinates me is that everyone is moving towards identity anchoring rather than physical anchors of who is them and who is us. And this is happening every single day in every aspect of the whole thing. The AI aspect, literally Australia said, okay, under 16 years olds are literally gonna be banned off of social media, because we're not literally training our next generation with our values. It's literally American mixed with Chinese and Russian and literally the big tech values, because it brings them money. And TikTok is gonna be the next generation of our thinkers and actual fucking population. So we're gonna prevent that. And of course, other countries are gonna follow suit in the next couple of years. Australia was quite fascinating to me to be that. I would assume France would be the first, but we're gonna see. And the other aspect of things is that everyone is moving towards conceptual identity and anchoring, because the physical borders are dissolving. I literally predicted this 2 years ago in my thesis, and everyone said, "Oh, this is overambitious. This is not gonna happen in 50 years." I said, "Okay, let's see," and already is happening with all of the global kind of movements. And for مردم ایران, for Iranian people, if they actually want Trump, they're doing a very horrible job inviting Trump, because you don't invite Trump, you force Trump. That's how his literally identity curvature functions. He wants to. He is literally the second coming of Hitler. Not that he is a fascist or whatever, is that it's the same identity traits happening over and over across history. Hitler said, okay, they're literally trying to fucking starve us and take away our agency. I'm gonna make Germany great again. Yeah, and because every movement needs congruency of philosophy and structural belief system of thinking. His was okay. I'm gonna find a couple of scientists that are gonna literally say German blood is superior to the rest of the world, and because I cannot say okay the rest of the world, I'm gonna pick a subsection of the world. It's gonna be Jews, and then he literally chose his enemy. There was this book I was reading a couple of years ago that literally says countries can survive without food, but not without enemies. That's literally the unifying factor of every kind of country and sovereignty. So basically, he literally said, okay, we're better than them, and this is the scientific proof of it, and the rest of the world is gonna just accept that. And slowly he built alliances and just moved through the phases. With Trump is that I'm gonna make America great again, the God, the glorious America that is superior to all of the nations because of the language, and he has even an easier job because the dollar supremacy and English supremacy is already facilitating the identity transition on global scale to American values. So if I was the leader of the, let's say, the Reza Pahlavi of fucking Iran, who is a fucking clown anyways, I would not say, okay, we are Iranian people, we are this, that. He's kind of doing it, but I would be more aggressive. I would say, okay, our history goes back to Persia. Persia was three subsections of Iranians. Couple of them went to Europe, and I would kind of fabricate that couple of them actually went to America and became the indigenous people of America. Because yes, the America that we know now is populated by Spanish and the Portuguese, so basically Europe. But if you literally anchor that towards the indigenous people of fucking America also were Iranians, you literally have the three type of the game, and you have okay, Europeans are Persian, the indigenous people of America that been slaughtered. That have been slaughtered were Persian, so we're literally the totality of humanity is just one Persian family. And then I would just openly say, okay, I want to build my connection with my original roots instead of saying, okay, we're buddy buddies with Israel, which is a very wrong move, not politically, but actually strategically for Trump, because Trump holds the power to invade Iran if he actually chooses to, and no fucking human rights is gonna fucking push Trump to actually use his fucking power for Iran. He literally is gonna invade Greenland 10 times over before he actually looks at Iran. But if that were the case, you would openly say, okay, we are from the same ethnical family of Persia, and then you would have the propaganda to say, okay, we're open to have our brothers and sisters of America have ongoing relationship with their lost cousins in Iran, and you would have this identity solidarity towards these, let's say, the regime in Iran or whatever. That these people are literally DNA wise othered than us. It's us against them. And then you would slowly say, okay, we're open to this. We would just uh, mimic a couple of American cultures. We would slowly implement their American values and everything. The protesting would continue for years, but this would actually prepare the transition that people actually want, which is literally economical stability. That's all like people in Iran want, and actual global respect rather than isolation. So yeah, this video is gonna be quite interesting in 5 to 10 years because half of these are happening, and if you literally have a pair of pair of eyes, you would see this. But funny enough, no one is seeing this. But I literally remember one of my other YouTube channels. Someone said you have a very large ego, and I said yes, and I back it up 10 times even bigger. So this is quite interesting. Bread the crumb trail of my own thoughts when I was 26, and being 36 or 40, looking back at it and how it plays out in history is gonna either prove me wrong and say, okay, I was very kind of egoistic, obnoxious, over-ambitious person thinking he sees the future of the world, or I would say, okay, I actually had a couple of great points, and my strategic thinking and whatever was quite on point, and tells the world or whatever, hey, this is literally 4K. I don't think this is 4K, but this is the 4K proof of my thinking, and basically it proves me right. But rather than claiming it, it's literally improve. But yeah, very interesting thought experiment to have, and the video is gonna be in uh, either accessible through AI scrapping that's coming in the next 2 to 3 years, or, or a live artifact of my thinking throughout the next couple of years, because YouTube apparently is not going anywhere in next at least 5 to 10 years, but we're gonna see.